What's up? Welcome to Burn the Ship. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's been a long time, too, because we spoke like 3 months ago, but you're just like a busy bee.
I've been really busy.
You're
really,
all over
really
the
busy.
place.
Yeah, I just got back from Italy like 3 days ago.
Which is awesome.
So jet lagged, but
I'm sure.
good.
I've done that trip before multiple times, so yeah. It was the worst jet lag I've ever had, though, coming back from Italy.
Really?
Like, Greece wasn't that bad, and even further. Yeah, I was falling asleep at my desk at like
oh gosh, not at my desk.
1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the afternoon because it's like felt, and we were there for like 12 days or whatever, so
same.
it's like we totally integrated in their time. What'd you do?
Well, we started in Switzerland. My boyfriend's dad is from Switzerland. We went to the World Cup qualifier for
Cool.
Switzerland, so that was cool. They won, and then we went to Florence, Rome, and then the Amalfi Coast. So it was just a little vacation.
Yeah.
It was so nice. I loved the Amalfi Coast.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah, we did Rome and then Naples, Nepali, and then the Amalfi Coast as well. And then we took a cruise to south of France, Cannes, Capri, Cannes, Monte Carlo. So it's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful there. I love it.
Yeah, we no, I could live there. I told Bella, which is right behind you, but I told her on her senior summer, let's get a place in like northern Italy for like a month.
Yeah.
But I don't know how that. We'll get into that in a second. I don't know how that college. Do they want you on campus right away?
No. Actually, a lot of schools want you. Like you can go in August. Some schools are particular and they want you in the summer, but
Sure.
some are. It just depends on where you go.
Sure. So we have Sandra here. Burn the ship. She burned her ship. I don't know what 6 months ago, a year ago.
A year ago.
Where you went on your own, and
Yes.
she started a company called Next Gen, and she is in the gymnastics industry. So I'm going to let you kind of tell your story, like how to start, everything about it. I'd love to know.
Yeah. So just, I guess, a little bit of a background. So I started gymnastics when I was 3. My sister's 5 years older than me, and I wanted to be just like her.
Of course.
So I did everything that she did, and of course she did gymnastics, and so that's kind of how I got into it. And then from there, just kind of fell in love with the sport and everything that came with it, aside from the injuries.
Sure.
And then
How many injuries have you had?
honestly, like I was lucky.
Okay.
I had one major one. It was when I was in club, and funny enough, it was on April Fool's Day. I missed my hands on a hop change, and I hit my face.
What's a hop change?
Or a cow hop change. It's basically when you cast a handstand and you switch your grip from like overhand to underhand grip. And I completely missed the bar, and my face hit the bar. And
Broke
I
the
broke
cheekbone?
the top and bottom bones that hold your teeth together, and I had to get 12 root canals. I had a tooth come out, which for some odd reason, my coach knew that if you put a tooth in milk, it saves it.
Yeah, it
so
does,
all my
yeah.
teeth are real. They put the one that came out right back in, which is crazy.
Yes.
But that was on April Fool's Day, and so when they called my mom, she hung up, and she was
Oh.
like, "What kind of sick joke is this? Like, this isn't funny, bye." And then they're like, "No, you really need to, like, we'll meet you at the hospital." Or we actually had to go right to an orthodontist, and they did emergency surgery on my teeth. But that was really the biggest one. And then after my college career, when I was doing elite, I tore a little bit of my meniscus, and so that was kind of rough just because I didn't necessarily have the athletic training support because I was done with college and I was more on my own for elite. So that was rough trying to figure things out. But
Sure.
those are the
Where
only
did you go to
ones.
high school?
I went to Venice High School in Venice, Florida.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a
Yep.
little school
And
on
you
the island.
and you stayed in Florida for your whole youth.
Yeah, no, I was born and raised in Florida. My mom's from Brazil, my dad's from Egypt. So
Okay.
pretty interesting combo.
You're an
but
You're an American then.
I'm
now.
American, yes.
Well,
So,
cool. Well, yeah. So tell me how the business started.
Yeah, so the business started. I had just finished up my, my gymnastics career overall. I finished doing elite. And I went back to my club gym, and then also I was training at GAA at the time as well, going back and forth.
That's right down the road.
Yeah, I know, right down the road. They were so good to me. I went back and kind of was just talking to them just because I was officially done, and they're like, "What's next? What's next?" And there's a ton of talented girls everywhere, and
Sure.
especially at that gym as well. And they just, they weren't getting a whole ton of attention. I was like, "Oh, who are you talking to?" And they're like, "Yeah, like." no one really, like, I've sent some emails, but I haven't heard back. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, you're good. You know, I was like, they're probably just sending the wrong thing. Or there were just so many girls out there that I was familiar with that they just weren't getting attention. And it was surprising because they were so talented. And I was like, they just definitely are not sending the right things. And this is something that comes so naturally. And it's easy to me. I've been through the recruiting process twice, when I first went to Ball State and then when I transferred to Georgia. So I feel like I had it down like the back of my hand, and I have a whole network of coaches that I knew. And I just felt like it was, you know, if it's so easy to me, like I wanted to give back to the girls, and like I want them to live out like I want them to live out the dream that I got to go through. And, you know, even better, especially now with NIL, like if I can help, you know, another athlete do it, like I was going to do it. So I was like, let me give it a shot. And I started working with a girl from my club gym, Lakewood Ranch, in Bradenton, Florida. And everything that I kind of, you know, went through with her, with the emails, the texting, the videos, it worked. And she ended up at Western Michigan, and she's still there today. And I was like, okay, I think I can, you know, make this something. And so then I you know, filed for an LLC, and, you know, it kind of came to life, made a website. And so just started kind of going about it the way that I would if I were to get recruited for a third time. And it's just been awesome ever since. Had so much success. And I've been able to hire, you know, Eric Lewis, who's the former Clemson associate head coach. And then he was at Utah State before that. So now it's, you know, us two together. And with him being, you know, in the college world for so long, and then have the student athlete perspective, I feel like, you know, if I don't know something, Eric knows something, and if Eric doesn't know something, I know something. So that's kind of how it came together, and it's just been awesome.
The beautiful thing about what you're doing is it's such an organic clientele, because you're not sending a YouTube video out there or a TikTok marketing thing. It's really organic of the way you're getting your clients, which is awesome, because you're going to keep them, and then you're going to get a lot of referrals. You know, that's kind of how it happens. But I think that's awesome. Is there a lot of people doing what you do?
I mean, not really. I mean, I always say if there isn't anyone doing it, then like we probably have a problem. But there are some people. There are a couple. I'd say like I can name 3 of them, like competitors that I have, but I think just the biggest thing that makes like Next Gen stand out, and I get this question a lot from parents when I have a consultation with them, is just the fact that I just went through the process. Like I just lived out the experience that your daughter is looking to do, and I've been through this recruiting process twice now. Like I can understand the feelings that she's going through and the frustration and the struggles. And like I said, you're just fresh out of it. I also was able to navigate NIL, which I don't think any of those other businesses can speak to that in the personal experience that I was able to do. So just a couple things. And I think we also do a lot more with the video editing and the custom everything that we have.
Dig in more to navigating NIL.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting. It's changing even since I got out of it. I'd say that it's really just about like, you know, making your brand and putting yourself out there in a way that brands are going to want to work with you. For me, when I was doing it at Georgia, I still had to reach out to brands myself. And even in the short time that I've been, you know, out of Georgia, it's different. Now brands are coming to, you know, Georgia Athletics and saying, hey, this is the deal that we want. You know, which team can we work with? Which is drastically different than what it was when I was the one trying to have to reach out to, you know, Chipotle, Snapchat, all that stuff, which I had a great deal with Snapchat. It was pretty cool. All I had to do was post. They verified me on Snapchat and then just posting on my story, which was crazy. That's how it's just so simple. What
is realistically, so let's take Olivia Dawn out of it. Let's take the top 10% out of it, 20%. What is it realistically what a gymnast can make? And I know that there's a lot of variables there of how good you are, and your personality has so much to do with it. But what's realistically what can somebody make?
I mean, I feel like it's hard to say. Like, I don't want to cap anyone just because things are so different now. Like, when I was at Georgia, like, you weren't signing with a bonus. Now, like, I have girls, like I just had a girl get an offer from Maryland who got a full scholarship offer plus a whole NIL offer as well, which, I mean, like, that in itself is crazy. It's not
Right.
it's unheard of, at least for
Sure.
gymnastics. If you were to tell me 2 years ago or 3 years ago, like girls are going to be signing full scholarships plus $100,000 every year.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
did she have already a really big presence on her social, and that's why she got that?
One of my girls?
Yeah.
No.
So she
No, it's
so she
just-
got it from just talent.
It's just talent, and,
Okay.
and that's how bad we want you. Like, we're gonna give you a full ride and some.
That's
so,
awesome.
I mean, she's going on one more visit. And I think it's gonna be hard to beat. Not even just,
I would think so.
like the financial aspect of it, because I think that's important. But at the end of the day, like, it has to be a good fit. Like, no money in the
100%.
world is gonna make you. I mean, depends who you ask, but. If you have a full scholarship and you're getting $100,000 a year, which is awesome, but you're miserable, it's not worth it,
Terrible.
in my opinion.
It's terrible. No, it's not worth it at all. It has to be a good fit with the coach and teammates.
Yeah.
And the energy and the environment has to fit that person. And then the money just makes it better, right?
Money
Then
does make it better.
But you're right. But if you get paid $100,000 and you hate every practice and you hate all the meets and and you still love just gymnastics, but the environment is not for you. That $100,000 doesn't mean anything. It sucks. It's
No.
terrible. It's like
You'll have cute outfits, but you're gonna be so miserable.
That's
It's
it.
not worth it.
Yeah. So that's another thing that you navigate with these gymnasts is hey, yes, the money is important, but $100,000 to me seems really high for a gymnast.
It's a lot. I mean,
I felt like if not right now, but when Bella and Anna get to that point, I'm like, if you're making like $2,000 or $3,000 a month, like that's so awesome, man.
yeah. I mean, you're with a lot of.
That's not what we're gonna shoot for.
With a lot of schools, your scholarship already comes with a stipend.
Mm-hmm.
So like at Georgia, my stipend was $18-19 a month. So that's on top of my full scholarship.
Sure.
So you're already getting and that's plenty of money to do a lot of things.
Of course it
Obviously,
is.
when you're off campus, you can pay for your rent, and then you have, depending on where you live, then you have like what, $900, $1,000 to spend.
Sure.
Or you can be smart and save it, which I do recommend saving your money and not just blowing it on stuff. But go treat yourself, go get a massage, or
Sure.
get your nails done, go get a cute game day outfit. But
Do they not have massage therapists? That you
they do, but that's during you get that once a week.
That's
At
it,
least
huh?
we did. Yeah, that's it. That's a
weak.
lot.
You got
That's-
Georgia.
That was really good.
Georgia has to step their game up to at least 3 times a week. Come
Oh
on.
my God, I think we would. I don't even know how we would have acted in practice. We'd just be too relaxed.
Nah,
Our body wouldn't
it's
be.
perfect. Your muscles are tight.
It
You're
also
getting
gave you
them.
something to look forward to, especially in season, knowing that I get a massage on
Of
my
course.
off day, so it was nice.
That seems so simple though that they should be able to do it. Like that's so cheap that they should be able to do it.
3 times a week.
Of course.
I don't know who's doing it. I don't even think LSU's doing it 3 times a week, but
I bet the football team gets it.
the football team gets whatever they want
That's
whenever
right.
they want. But
So that we got to get equality, right?
right,
That's
right.
it. Well, cool. What's next? Like, what's where are you at in your business right now? Like, how many clients do you have, and what's next? What's the horizon look like?
I'd say that right now we're pushing 50 girls right now.
Nice.
That we're working with. We have a handful that are about to commit, which is exciting. So that'll open up some, some time to start working with new people and kind of get out there to some showcases and to some gyms, just, advertising like, hey, we have some openings. There are some times where people reach out and we're just out of capacity. Like I said, Next Gen is meant to be this very much like personalized, hands-on
Concierge, yeah.
Yes, concierge. Like, we don't want you to feel lost in a system. Like, that's why we're very intentional with like how many girls we work with, because to me it's not worth it for someone to pay this much, all this money to just get lost in a system.
Sure.
I think it's important. Like, I text these girls more than I text my friends. I text
Sure.
their moms more than I text my friends, especially
course you do.
as they're going on
It's your business.
visits. Yeah, I mean, it's a 24/7 job, and I love it. I love that they're on visits. I'm like, hey, how's it going? Like, what are
Right.
your thoughts? Or I had one girl FaceTimed me yesterday and was like, okay, now that I've gone on my visits, give me your opinion. Because I told her, you have to go on all of them before I can step in, because I don't want to sway you one way or another. And her mom were like, all right, now that we've gone on them, what's your opinion? I'm like, all right, well, like, and these are just things that you can't do when I have, 150 girls.
You're talking about, well, you can. You just have to change your model, right? And right now your business is you, right? That's it. It's you and your partner, right?
Yeah.
That's it. So like you can, but it's hard to ramp a business up like that when it's all about you. So you'd have to hire 3 more of you to get to 150.
Right, which is something we've thought about for sure. But I think the person, like the people that we
it's hard to scale the business in the fact that you know what you're doing, and it's hard to train that too, right? Because you've been doing it.
Yeah, it's definitely, you have to find people that have been in the sport, have gone through it themselves, or they were, a coach. That's why I'm very picky with who I bring on, just because like you have such an impact on this girls, like all of the girls that you're working with, like how they're getting to college, if they get to college. And so I think that who I bring on next is it's going to be someone obviously that has that experience in the gymnastics world, whether it's collegiate or club. And
you're going to know it though.
They
Sandra.
know what they're talking about.
No,
yeah.
You're going to know it. You're going to know you're going to be at a gym, and this person's going to be right out of college, and they're going to be spunky, and they're going to have good mouth, and they're going to talk, and you're going to be like, yeah, I want that person to work for me. You're going to know it.
Yeah, I think also it's when you just come out of college, and this is kind of why I think that Eric is so great for Next Gen. When you just come out of college, you have no idea like what's going on unless you have like a job, set for you right out of college, which I didn't. Next Gen was before, my 9 to 5 that I do have. But I think that when you are coming out of college, you don't necessarily know what you want to do. I think this could be a good part-time thing, but I also need to know that you're going to be committed to it.
Of course.
Which I think sometimes you're like, I don't even know what's going on. Like, I just, I'm not an athlete anymore. I have to figure out how to transition, to regular living and not training 4 hours a day. There's so much you have to deal with. So I feel like, maybe, if it's the right person, it's the right person. But I think more like someone that's been through obviously the recruiting process, but it's also lived a little bit after college and has experienced, maybe a different job as well, and is kind of ready to look for, something else.
Cool. So obviously, is that your cap right now? Is 50? You think like I'm not taking any more clients, or are you like I can take more on, but you're obviously always looking, because retention is a problem with your industry, or with your company, because people are graduating, people are out, so you have to replenish your clientele. So I'm sure you have a short list of, hey, now I can work with you, but right now you're just still taking people on.
Yeah, no, we're still absolutely taking people on. I think that we're in a place where, we're about to have a lot of girls commit, which is really exciting. So we're in a place where it's like, all right, who's the next generation of athletes that we need to start working with? And especially as, the 28s, 29s start to come along, and they, June 15th of next year, when the 28s can finally have their conversation, a back and forth conversation with coaches, I think we'll see a lot of, those 28s and 29s come along.
Sure. Well, tell me about that, because you told me that. Tell me about the one-way conversation compared to the two-way conversation and the age. And explain that.
Yeah. So you can't start talking to college coaches until June 15th going into your junior year.
Right.
So right now you have 27s and 26s that can, have that two-way communication with coaches. With the 28s and 29s that I work with, the ones that are level 10s and they have the skill level that college coaches are looking for, which I will say it's hard to be an 8th grader or a freshman in high school and have everything that these college coaches are looking for. Because if you looked at me when I was a freshman in high school, like, I couldn't have sent a single email to coaches, because they'd be like, who does this girl think she is? She should not be emailing us. But
they would not say that.
That was not me. But the girls that I have that are at that, at that stage, we work together where they are, we're still having communication, those one-way communication with coaches. And the way that they are showing us, like, hey, we see you, like, we like what you're doing, but we obviously can't talk to you, is they send mail.
Right.
So,
but how important is that one-way communication? education because you feel like, hey, I'm not getting anything back because you can't get it back, but you really need to do it.
Yeah, no,
right?
you do need to do that if you are at the the level that they're looking for. Ideally, these coaches want to be following you from your freshman year to June 15th going into your junior year, so that they can see your progression from freshman to junior or end of sophomore year.
Sure.
So that they can kind of decide on, is this the girl that we want to be calling on June 15th? Have we seen her progress from maybe doing just a full on vault to a 1.5 that's beautiful and stuck in a lot of meets. So I think it's very important, and yeah, it's hard. Sometimes these girls are sending emails and they're like, are these coaches even looking at my stuff?
Right.
But I think it makes them feel really good, and
of course
it's like,
it does.
okay, yes, they do see me when they finally get some mail to their club gym, and it just makes their day, and it's like, all right, I'm on the right track, keep going. No matter how many times I can tell them you're on the right track, it just means more when they get mail from the coaches. Of course.
Of course it does. That's a good feeling. Let's do this. I want to show you some of my daughter's videos, and you critique the videos of how you would do it differently. Okay. That'll help anybody that we send this out to, audiences, your clients and things like that, to know these are the videos we need. So will you guys tell Scott your Instagrams and both of y'all, and we'll play some of the videos. All right, so right now I'm putting Sandra on the spot here because she is the expert. These are the videos that we've shot and our coaches shoot and things like that. So I want to know, what can we do better here? And I'm sure that there's so many people out there that are the same thing as me. Because I could look, at the end of the day, I love gymnastics in a lot of ways, and I hate it in other ways. I don't. It's so subjective and I think that I could get closer to the score that I used to cut, 10, 15 years ago. But now I'm still like, oh, that was a 8-9, that was a 9-3, and I'm like so off. So I still can't do that.
Yeah.
But I can get closer than I used to could. So there's a lot of parents out there that are exactly the same as me.
Oh yeah.
Right. So when I'm talking about, doing the actual videos themselves and posting them, what should I be looking for? Because you don't want, your clientele is not level 7s in 6th grade. Mm-hmm. Your clientele is level 10s in 9th grade, correct?
9s and 10s, yeah.
9s and 10s.
Yeah.
So, but there's so much more to do from level 6 to level 9 on your Instagram and on your thing. So I just want to really get a good education on it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, let's play a few of these videos. We'll play some of Bella's and some of Anna's.
That's good. I'd say there's nothing wrong with that.
That's good angle and everything?
Yeah, the angle's fine. I'd say, she obviously she goes out of frame at the top when she casts a handstand, so it would be nice to kind of see right there, you miss her feet. It would just be good to see, the whole thing right there.
Because the feet need to be pointed and all that.
Well, you just want to make
sure,
yeah. You just want to see her toe point there. And then, as she catches the ginger, she kind of goes again out of frame a little bit. Right there. Yeah. So, that little tiny leg separation is what coaches are going to be, seeing. I guess to her advantage, it's good that they don't see it.
This was at that camp.
It was at the showcase.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I saw her outfit and the young lady standing behind her, so it has to be at a camp, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, where'd the landing go?
This is like a mashup of a bunch of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is good. I like separating the events.
Explain that. You like separating the events.
Yeah, I think that coaches can get this is my opinion. Every coach is a little bit different. But I think that coaches can get a better sense of, the skill level and routine construction for a specific athlete if they can see everything in the post rather than like jumping around. There are times where you have to.
So you're saying like do the vault, the floor, and bar in maybe one video. Like do it all, mash it up.
No.
Or you're saying separate them.
Yes,
separate them.
Yeah,
okay.
I prefer them separate. I mean, if you're trying to get a college coach's attention really quick and show them, my skill level, this is my first time, reaching out to them, I think it's important to have it all in one video.
Sure.
But as you continue communication with them or, they are familiar with your gymnastics, they've seen you at camp before.
Right.
I think the single event videos are perfectly fine.
Cool.
But going back to that video, I'd say I'd be curious what the landing of that AA looked like, because I think it just kind of cut. Was I right there? Okay. So I would, obviously would want to get the landing there just to see how the AA finished.
Did you land it? Okay.
Oh wait, so where was the ending?
It was just like all clipped.
Oh, okay, yeah, I definitely would have put the landing in, because I would have just assumed that she either didn't land it or it was like a crazy landing,
Of course, I would
which is
assume
why
she
she
didn't.
cut it.
If somebody sent that, I'd be like, oh, she didn't land it, or that person didn't land it. So this is the north to south that you were talking about instead of the...
Yeah, I mean, I would suggest from the judge's angle would be from the side, just because a couple things like the beginning, the layout step out, I feel like you can see...
Why is it doing that? Is it supposed to...
Is it sped up?
Yeah, Marissa sped it up.
So I would only speed up the in between. So like you want to keep the skills the same, because like I can't see what your form necessarily looks like if it's sped up. I'm like, was her foot flex? Did she bend her knee? Because it's really fast. I would speed up. So I would stop and I'd speed up in between, and then the full turn would be normal, and then speed up the walking, speed all that up, and then unspeed and normal.
So just the athletic moves is what you want. You want to see those in real time.
I want to see the skills in real time,
yeah.
and I don't need to see the walking in between. You can definitely speed that up. Okay, so I would cut out the beginning, just because we don't need to see a coach isn't going to sit there and want to wait until she does the skill. Let's get right to the point.
Even though it's a second and a half, 2 seconds, you still don't want that.
Let's just get right to the point. And honestly, like, I would have put this maybe, or have you landed this since? Mm-hmm. Not yet.
There's the only 2 I ever did on high beam.
Okay. Honestly, my opinion, I would have waited until I would have probably waited until I hit like the skill to post
Don't put it up there until you hit it.
Yeah, or if she has hit it and we're showing like progression of like all the times we didn't hit and then finally hitting,
right,
then I think that would be worth it too. I think in the caption you could have mentioned first time on high beam, excited to continue progressing on my side semi, just to kind of give context. It's almost like, so is this your first time? Are we coming back from it? We have no context as to like what how long you've been doing the skill for, or if it's new or anything like that.
Yeah.
What do you think I'm going to say about the angle?
I don't know.
From the back.
You want it straight from the back?
No, it's from the back. Do you see how, as she's going, we're seeing her from the back rather from the...
You want to see her
from
running.
The side.
You want
from the side.
Oh, the side. Oh, complete side.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, from the side. So if someone was
where that yellow line right there is where you need to be.
Yeah,
really.
by the yellow line, I'd say.
By the whole table.
Yeah. Somewhere, so from the side over there, and then, I'm glad it's onto a mat. I think you could totally go onto 2 mats in there, but I think, this
Why 2 mats?
Just because
it's a little more solid.
Yeah, it shows it's more solid. I mean, unless it's like a big, in my opinion, unless it's like a big skill, I don't think you want to show videos into a pit, which is not what she's doing. Hers is onto a mat, which is great. I think with it being on an air track, a lot of coaches look at an air track as like a tumble track.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, no, exactly what you mean.
So if we could put another mat in there to make it more level, or even if you're on an air track, if you can, make what the landing surface even a little bit higher. So it's like, yes, I'm on an air track, but I'm also landing like higher than, the surface itself.
Sure. Yeah. Let's move to the next one.
So the angle's good here. I don't have anything to say about the angle.
But it's into the pit. That's what you're saying.
It's into the pit. Was this more showing, like, again, I'd say let's put some context. Let's put context in, like, the caption, since there isn't a there's no caption, right? Am I crazy? Okay. Yeah. I would definitely...
How important are captions?
I mean, they're not crazy important, but in this context, I'd like to understand, are we looking more at the giants, or is this our first time doing giants? Is this... You know what I mean?
At the time, this is.
Oh, at the time. Okay, yeah. So I would definitely put that in there. I would say, first time getting my Giants around. Excited to put this on the comp set soon.
Sure. Okay. Cool.
This is a good angle. Perfect angle. That's the judge's perspective I'm looking for. Judge's angle. So yeah, that's good. Obviously, ideally, we could put a mat in there and show we're going onto a surface rather than open foam. But
And plus you hear her chewing.
Go that beam right there.
that's good.
Oh, hang on there.
Hang on there. Like I said kind of before, not my
Side.
favorite angle.
Yeah, side.
Just because if you can see her soft back leg and the back handspring in the layout too. See at the end in the layout how it's kind of sideways. You can just see more of that from the front of the beam versus the side of the beam. Imagine if judges judged from this angle, how much lower scores would
Probably a lot.
be.
Yeah.
Definitely would
Yeah.
be a little bit lower for all of us.
So many ideas.
Yeah, seriously. Here I can't even
It's a
see.
terrible. Yeah.
It's a great double pike. I just can't see the landing. So, obviously wanting to see it from the side. But it was a great double pike.
Well, and that's something else. The consistency of posting them. You said 3 a week, right? There needs to be 3 a week.
I like to have, my girls post 2 to 3 times a week. I know with, with them being in school and
Yeah.
homework and all that, that's why at Next Gen, we help put their videos together so they
Mm-hmm.
can just get them out quicker. But we're also teaching them how to put them together because,
Sure.
these are skills that they should know how to do, especially, a couple months into working together.
Right.
They know exactly how to
Well, I
put
know
it
that
together.
you had said because the coaches. So I mean, you correct me if I'm wrong here, but the coaches you told me they want to see just the skill. That's what they're looking at. They don't care about music or anything like that on there or whatever. But they want to see just the skill and then move on. But do you think it's important, especially with NIL, the birth of NIL, and then the ongoing changes, that they need to be doing some personality things within their social media to show them that they're their personality?
I think that could definitely help them NIL wise, and also the coaches can see the personality of the athlete. Let's say if they aren't able to work with them at a camp or aren't able to make it into their gym to recruit or anything
Sure.
like that, they can also see a little bit of their personality and who they are outside of gymnastics and how good of a teammate are they. Outgoing, are they more introverted? Because that stuff is important. Obviously, it doesn't mean it's not the end of the world if you are an introvert or you're
Sure.
not super loud, but it's nice for coaches to understand, okay, what type of athlete could I potentially getting myself into,
Of course.
and how could that person mesh with the other girls that we currently have on the team.
That's awesome. Well, look, tell everybody how they can get a hold of you. Phone number, email address, your website, whatever.
Yeah. So website is tngrecruiting.com. Stands for the next generation. And then Instagram is nextgen_recruiting. We definitely need to double check that one.
Okay.
Because I'm not pretty sure it's nextgen_.
We'll figure it out in post for sure.
Yeah. So it should be nextgen_recruiting on Instagram. And then you shoot me an email. It's my first name, Sandra, _ my last name, Elsadek, ELSADEK. Don't make fun of me. It's at AOL.com. But
I literally, when you gave me your email address, I said that. I was like, dang, hanging on to the AOL. I said that.
Everyone
I
tells me
literally
that.
said that to you the first time I talked to you. I was like, God, my dad and you.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I feel like I've had it. My dad literally used to pay for my whole family to have
Sure.
it back. I guess in the 2005, I guess. But I've had it ever since. And you know how hard of it is to switch your emails if everything you have is connected to one. It's just
I've
a
done it
hassle.
once.
Was it fun?
Well, no, I mean, no, but I still have the old one and
Yeah.
it gets reverted to my new one. But yeah, no, it's because mine was when Gmail was first coming out, and I had an AOL when I was in high school, but I didn't even really check emails then. You know what I mean? So no, it was Worthy Marketing was my first company at Gmail, and then I changed to J at Go MP Group, which is the processing company. But yeah, no, it's. Yeah, we'll check it out. That's
we'll
fine.
get a new one at some point. I know, AOL, guys. It's okay.
Well, the thing is now, I just, this has nothing to do with it's business. It's a business conversation, but you really need Sandra at Next Gen.
Oh yeah.
That's what you need.
Yep.
And
it's
that
just
can
my banners all have all of my big banners that I go to meets with all have my other ones. So
and
it's
those are $300 a piece.
Yep.
Yeah,
so
I
it's
got
like
you.
finding the right time to
I got a
finally
bunch of
switch
banners in there. I understand how much they cost.
I
Yeah,
know.
for sure. You got to wait till they break.
Yeah.
But you also could keep those banners, start your new one, and then you keep them forever because you still get those, and then it goes to your new address.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's fair.
Yeah, you can do that. But that's what my thing is when I'm looking, and we deal with hundreds of businesses a month, hundreds, and probably 20 new ones, 30 new ones every month. So when I see, okay, let's like underwriting. If you're underwriting a processing app or an institutional app where you're getting money or anything, that underwriter will look at that and go, that's not, I don't know, I have to look into you more. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
It's so
that
weird,
makes
that
sense.
little bitty thing. They're like, I don't know if I can give this person a loan. They're still dealing with AOL. Even though that has very, very little to do with it,
Yeah.
but they will take a second look at it. If you have a Fed ID number out of Delaware or Montana, you are going to get looked into.
Really?
Yep, because a lot of people do that for tax purposes, shell companies, things like that, which is not illegal at all, but they do that for tax purposes. They get them in Delaware and Montana and Wyoming and places like that because they have just way different laws when it comes to corporate
it's
corporate
interesting.
companies. So, it's just something you probably never heard of, but I deal with it on a daily basis. So it's like they look at it a little bit different.
Yeah.
A normal Joe Schmo would not care. They'd be like, "Oh, that's your email." What is what
All
it
right.
is.
It's all right. Next time we talk, I'll have a Next Gen.
I know you will. I know you will. I appreciate you coming in.
Yeah.
This has been fun. We'll have to do it again. I always tell people, like, we'll do it in a year from now. Like a
See
year
where
from now to
things are
see
at.
where your business is and
Yeah.
how excited it is and how many companies you have, and hopefully we can do some business together in the software that I'm trying to create, because I think it complements what you do very, very well. So I appreciate it. Burn the ship. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.